Phantom Blade Zero delivers a thrilling combat experience that harkens back to the golden age of action games. With its fluid movement, intricate combo system, and strategic gameplay, the game immerses players in a world of high-octane swordplay and acrobatic maneuvers. While Phantom Blade Zero is known for its stunning wuxia-inspired martial arts and aesthetics, here are some games that share a similar depth and complexity. Starting off at number 8 is Where Winds Meet. Where Winds Meet is an upcoming open-world role-playing video game based on the wuxia genre developed by Everstone Studios and published by NetEase. It is expected to release for the PlayStation 5 and Windows systems in late 2024. The game takes place during the 5 Dynasties and 10 Kingdoms era of ancient China and features much similarities to Phantom Blade Zero. Both games are action RPGs that prioritize strategic, skill-based combat, emphasizing careful decision-making, precise execution, and environmental interaction. This creates a rewarding and challenging experience for players, and while their approaches may differ in certain nuances, they share a core philosophy, which is a focus on strategic, skill-based combat that rewards player mastery. The games feature intelligent enemies that adapt to the player's tactics, requiring constant adaptation and mastery of combat skills. While each game has its own unique strengths and weaknesses, they share a common goal, which is providing players with a deep and engaging combat experience that rewards skill and strategic thinking. Next over at number 7 is Project the Perceiver. Perceiver and Phantom Blade Zero share a striking resemblance in their combat systems, both leaning heavily on a combination of precise timing, strategic parrying, and quick reflexes. Both games feature intricate dance-like combat where every move counts. In both titles, players must carefully observe enemy attack patterns to identify openings for counterattacks. A successful parry can leave the enemy vulnerable to a devastating riposte, while a missed parry can result in significant damage. This emphasis on defensive play encourages a more deliberate and strategic approach to combat, rewarding players who can anticipate and react to their opponent's actions. Furthermore, both games feature a variety of weapons and gadgets that can be used to create unique combat scenarios. While Receiver primarily focuses on futuristic firearms, Phantom Blade Zero incorporates a broader arsenal, including swords, daggers, and hidden weapons. This variety allows players to experiment with different playstyles and strategies, adding depth and replayability to both games. Now at number 6 is Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert and Phantom Blade Zero both offer fast-paced combat experiences, but their approaches differ significantly. Crimson Desert leans towards a more traditional hack-and-slash style, with players using swords, axes, and other melee weapons to defeat enemies. Despite this, both games offer a blend of swordplay and ranged combat, with a focus on precise parries, dodges, and counterattacks. The core mechanics in both titles revolve around a similar risk-reward system, as executing a successful parry or dodge can lead to devastating counterattacks, while a misstep can leave you vulnerable to a powerful enemy combo. This encourages aggressive play, but also demands strategic thinking and quick reflexes. Additionally, both games feature a variety of weapons and abilities that can be combined to create unique playstyles. While the specific mechanics and animations may differ slightly, the overall feel of combat in both Crimson Desert and Phantom Blade Zero is remarkably similar. Fans of one game are likely to enjoy the other, as they both offer a thrilling and visually impressive action RPG experience. Moving on to number 5 is Code to Jin Yong. Code to Jin Yong, a game inspired by the works of Jin Yong, and Phantom Blade Zero share a strong resemblance in their combat systems. Both games draw heavily from the intricate martial arts systems depicted in Jin Yong's novels, emphasizing precise movements, timing, and strategic thinking. In both games, players are immersed in a world where martial arts are a central element, The combat systems are designed to replicate the fluidity and complexity of traditional Chinese martial arts, featuring intricate combos, counterattacks, and defensive maneuvers. This requires players to carefully analyze their opponent's movements, anticipate their attacks, and respond with well-timed and precise actions. Moreover, both games incorporate the concept of internal energy, or Chi, a vital force that enhances a character's abilities. By cultivating and managing internal energy, players can unleash powerful special attacks, heal their wounds, or even slow down time. This adds a strategic layer to the combat, as players must carefully balance their offensive and defensive options. Next over at number 4 is Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong offers a dynamic and engaging combat system which is much similar to Phantom Blade Zero. While their specific mechanics and aesthetics may differ, the core principles of combat are remarkably aligned, as both games emphasize the importance of precise timing, quick reflexes, and strategic thinking. In both games, enemies are designed to be challenging and unpredictable, requiring players to adapt their tactics on the fly. And as of this, both games feature a variety of weapons and abilities that can be combined to create unique playstyles. In Black Myth Wukong, Wukong's staff can be used for both melee and ranged attacks, while his magical abilities allow him to unleash devastating attacks. Phantom Blade Zero also offers a diverse arsenal of weapons, including swords, daggers, and hidden blades, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. Their shared emphasis on fast-paced action, strategic depth, and a diverse array of weapons and abilities makes them compelling choices for fans of action-oriented games. Now at number 3 is Wulong Fallen Dynasty. Both Wulong Fallen Dynasty and Phantom Blade Zero offer distinct yet intertwined combat experiences, rooted in the rich tapestry of Chinese martial arts. While their approaches differ slightly, both games prioritize skill, timing, and strategic play. Wulong leans heavily into a more traditional action RPG combat style. Players engage in fluid, dynamic encounters, relying on parrying, dodging, and counter-attacking to overcome their foes. The game's emphasis on deflecting incoming attacks with precise timing creates a satisfying rhythm. Wulong's combat also features a unique morale system that affects both player and enemy performance, adding an extra layer of strategy and tension. While Wulong often features a slower-paced combat, emphasizing precise strikes and strategic positioning, the game's focus on stealth and assassination offers a different kind of challenge, requiring players to plan their attacks carefully and exploit environmental factors. Despite their differences, both games share a common foundation in Chinese martial arts, drawing inspiration from historical techniques and philosophies, therefore creating a sense of authenticity and depth. Now down to number 2 is Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden shares a strong resemblance to Phantom Blade Zero in that their combat systems are both rooted to a challenging, fast-paced action. Both games emphasize precise execution, demanding players to master intricate combos, quick reflexes, and strategic parrying. The core gameplay of both titles revolves around fluid movement and relentless attacks. Characters can dash, jump, and wall run with agility, allowing for dynamic and acrobatic combat encounters. The ability to quickly switch between various weapons or martial arts styles adds depth and complexity to the gameplay, encouraging players to experiment with different strategies. Furthermore, both games feature a punishing difficulty curve, requiring players to learn enemy patterns and exploit their weaknesses to succeed. This focus on challenging combat is a hallmark of both franchises, rewarding mastery and skill with satisfying victories. In essence, both Ninja Gaiden and Phantom Blade Zero offer a thrilling and demanding combat experience that will appeal to fans of challenging action games. Lastly, at number 1 is Rise of the Ronin. Rise of the Ronin's combat brings a blend of dynamic action, strategic planning, and visceral satisfaction. Similar to Phantom Blade Zero, both games feature fluid combat systems rooted in stealth and precision, allowing players to swiftly eliminate enemies with a variety of techniques. The emphasis on verticality and exploration in both titles is another point of comparison, as players navigate intricate environments and utilize their skills to overcome obstacles. Furthermore, the visual styles of these games are remarkably similar, with a focus on stylized graphics and a neo-feudal Japan setting. The characters' designs and the overall atmosphere of the games evoke a sense of traditional Japanese culture, albeit with a modern twist. These shared elements suggest that both developers drew inspiration from similar sources and sought to create a unique experience within the historical action genre. While the specific narratives and gameplay mechanics may differ, the core similarities between Rise of the Ronin and Phantom Blade Zero are undeniable and contribute to their appeal to fans of the genre.